Welcome to Hot Women Wanted.
We're three childhood best friends who have been through it all and talk about it all.
Everything from hot flashes to hot takes to hot topics. So come join us.
Hi, Hotties. Welcome to Hot Women Wanted, episode 13. I don't know. Is it lucky 13 or we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I am Julie Strauss Greeley, joined by my besties and fellow hotties, Mary Young and Juli Cola. How are you guys?
Hi, Hottie. Hi, Hotties.
Hi, Hotties. What's the temperature check this week? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing in week 13?
I'm actually feeling great on my HRT. A little
you sure are.
And yet great.
So it's a game changer, huh?
It is a game changer. I feel good.
I told you.
I sleep like a baby.
And again, if I didn't have a period last week, I'd be joining you.
I can't.
Julie, maybe you want to join us just to sleep better. I don't know.
I know, it's true.
It is true.
I mean, sleep is very important.
Speaking of sleeping better, I was up all night last night.
Oh, no.
It's not because of being in menopause. It wasn't being in perimenopause. I was up all night because I was Googling Kendrick Lamar Drake beat. Super Bowl. I watched that Super Bowl halftime show and I thought to myself, that was entertaining, but I had no idea what it meant. And thankfully, we were at a party, Julie and I were at a party, and there was a woman who actually showed us a TikTok of this guy describing like what the beef was between Kendrick Lamar.
To his mother, on a whiteboard.
Oh my God.
It's so funny. And by the way, and then I became completely obsessed to the fact, since the Super Bowl, I've been watching reaction videos on TikTok all night long to the point where Charlie's like, are you still watching the halftime show? I'm like, this halftime show is so phenomenal. He thought about everything. I can't get over how genius this halftime show is. And I
have to give props. I have to give props to, I don't know, I'm certainly not an expert by any means, but I did know some because one of my kids, I'm going to shout out Kate Greeley for something positive that she'll finally be happy about, is a huge Kendrick Lamar fan, has been for a number of years, has made it her business to school everybody in the family, not Jane, she obviously knows about Kendrick, but me and Todd, all about Kendrick. We listen to his music in the house. We're fans. So I felt like I knew a little bit what was going on, I have to say. I'm proud of myself.
I didn't know that. He won a Pulitzer Prize for his writing.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
Kate wrote a whole thesis last year on the music of Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. Genius.
By the way, for our fans, my mic isn't working, so I'll have to be holding this the whole time. So if you see it pop in and out of the screen, it's just it's an old person.
It's just menopause and technology strikes again.
Exactly. But I will say I've been reading Serena, the whole thing on Serena. Serena is Drake's ex. And came on in her little tenant. She looked amazing.
That was great.
She looks amazing these days, actually. That's been on my radar. She looks amazing. And I also want to say, as far as something superficial about Kendrick, I was digging those bell-bottom jeans. I have to tell you, I kept looking at his jeans like,
amazing.
Are those mother? Like, I need a pair of those. I need a pair of those.
Of course, I went into my closet and I found a pair just like them. I'm very excited, but I'll be whipping those out.
Ever seen anything
Of course, Julie, because your closet is Narnia, as I've said before. It's like Julie stands outside her closet, makes a wish, goes in, and it's standing on a golden hanger. It's like,
I'm like, 20 years ago.
Found them.
Totally. Anyway,
by the way, Hotties, I did invest in the Rag and Bone sweatpants.
You have to bring those on when you have.
That's got to be.
They're on their way.
That has to be.
They're on their way.
I hope you love them. I hope you love them. I've only heard good things.
Let's describe what they are. The Rag and Bone. Mary, say what they are.
They're Rag and Bone. I guess they're sweatpants. I don't know what the material is. I haven't touched them yet.
And it's this like amazing technology where they printed jean on the material.
So I haven't gotten them yet to see if they really look like jeans, but in the pictures they look like jeans.
Well, that's when you're going to wear them on camera, do a little show for us, and then you'll do your hot take, your real review in real time.
I'll do it.
I got to tell you, I think if they're as good as people say they are, I think that's a new plane outfit.
Well, that's why I got them, because I am going to be on a long plane ride in next week. So I thought, like, you know what? I'll try and look a little cuter than just like.
I like it.
yoga pants.
I like it. I think you're going to like them. I'm excited for that one. Should we move on to like hot beauty trend or product?
Yes. What have you got for us?
I am going to take this one, and Mara, I'm going to take your lead from the other week where you were like, you know, beauty is not just all this external stuff like lotions and potions and rollers, which God knows I've got galore. But I am into such a new food product that I have to shout out here. I'm probably so late to the game. This is probably mortifying for our listeners, but I feel like I have discovered America. So I've been trying to, I'm definitely not going to go dairy free. Don't at me. Anybody who knows me in my life, I know I eat yogurt and cottage cheese. I don't want to hear it, but I am trying to do
a lot of people will be adding you.
I know, mostly my family, and by family I mean my kids. But anytime I make a statement, they're like, "You're not dairy free." So let me just say, I'm not trying to say I'm dairy free, but I am making a conscious effort to go less dairy. So in light of that, I've been seeing a lot about this yogurt online called Cocojune, which is a coconut-based yogurt. I happen to like the flavor of coconut. And I bought the vanilla flavor. It literally has not one artificial ingredient. It doesn't use even stevia or an artificial sweetener. It is the most delicious yogurt, low in fat, high in protein. I think it even has a little bit of fiber. It is creamy and delicious and delectable. I cannot wait to have my yogurt and fruit during the day. I am a big fan. Cocojune, all one word, Cocojune.
And it's like a honey in it?
Huh?
Do you put honey in it?
No, you don't need to. You can. Really? I mean, you do not need to. This does not need a drop of sweetener. This is the vanilla flavor, though. And it's natural vanilla extract. But there is a plain flavor that maybe you'd want to add honey to. I don't know. I literally, the containers are not that large, and I will say that, and probably not cheap. But we both, Todd and I, are like eating through it. It's amazing. Love it.
All right, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, try it, everybody. Beauty from within, beauty through your diet.
Exactly.
Beauty from within.
All right. Are we moving on to hot off the press?
Yes.
Who's got it this week?
Okay, I'll start, Mara, and then you'll finish. Okay, so I'm gonna breeze through this because we have quite a few things to talk about. First one, Lindsay Hubbard. Sadly, I heard she and her baby daddy have split.
Is this true?
Yes.
Yes.
It is, but it really is true. Like, she verified it?
I don't know if she's verified. Everyone's verified it. Yeah, they split.
Yeah, they split.
I'm devastated.
Yeah.
I mean, did you really think they were going to last?
I feel
No,
bad.
but I'm devastated to hear it. We've all been there. We all know what it's like to have a new baby. Not that the husbands are doing all that much, but still.
Well, maybe he's a good guy and he'll take care of the baby. And, she's happy to have the baby. Now she has this beautiful daughter.
Yes, she is.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
And hopefully, this is, she's never said a bad word about him. Hopefully, he'll do the right thing and, it will all work out. Who knows? But that is the sad news for that one. And then on a bizarro note, moving on to the Super Bowl, Bill Belichick, 72, and his 24-year-old girlfriend.
24. Our kids' age. We all have kids that are 24 or turning 24.
It looks like her grandpa. It literally looks like her grandpa.
Crazy.
And can you imagine being her friends? It's like, oh, come on, we'll go out with Bill. I mean, besides, he'll take them out on a yacht, but then he brings his friends.
Right.
That's not too much fun for her friends.
I'm sorry. I'm going to take it one step.
Grandpa Belichick?
Yeah, grandma.
I'm going to take it one step further. Are they having sex?
I heard they're engaged.
Julie, that is too far. That's a bridge too far from my mind.
Okay,
You don't think-
his
old
old
man
man
I just don't want to look at it. I don't want to think about it.
Okay,
That's
moving
not
on.
an image I need. Okay.
Moving on. With one more. Oh, and speaking of the Super Bowl, spotted at the Super Bowl, not together, but both there, Craig Conover and Paige DeSorbo. And Paige DeSorbo not dating Joe D'Amelio. We're hand-holding and like lovey-dovey all over the Super Bowl, even though she claims they're not together. But
Not together. Just friends.
Just friends.
Okay, well, I have two of my own. One is Justin Baldoni
Give us the
crying,
weekly update, Mare.
crying in an interview about his hard year. And I want to say, cry me a river. Like, seriously, I have no words. Like, I cringed. They look like crocodile tears to me. he seems so performative to me. Even before any of this started, I don't know what happened with him and Blake, but even like in interviews past, he's such a performative guy. Like he's such a feminist. It just everything seems like he's on stage. And this to me really screamed like, feel bad for me, like an actor, you know.
I'm going to say something very controversial for us. I think they're both performative. I find her very performative, extremely performative. I don't believe a word she says. I find her obnoxious. I think something happened on the set. I don't know what happened. I think he's unbearable. I think she's unbearable. And somewhere in between is the truth. That's what I think about it.
I just can't get over how much this has taken over. I can't get over how much this.
There's a lot of receipts. There's a lot of receipts on both sides, but there's a lot of receipts. And it's really not black and white. This is not black and white.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think he's weird, you know, with his whole like.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think he's odd with his whole, you know, I definitely think he's weird and who knows what happened, but so is she, you know.
And they're different. They're different. She comes off as much stronger. He comes off as like a pathetic guy. Like
I don't think she comes off as strong. I think she comes off as a spoiled brat who's very entitled. And I don't think I do. I'm sorry, that's my thing.
What? You just called out Blake Lively, the most powerful.
We're going to be sued.
We're going to be in trouble all over the internet.
Julie Strauss, you're going to be pulling out that legal degree and defending us next week because we will be sued. So thank you.
You have to go through that 400-page document.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's something going on there for sure.
Okay, and I have
take away the next one.
One more is the Adam Brody Leighton Meister. Leighton Meister, is that how you say her name?
Yeah,
Meister kiss. That
the Critics' Choice Awards.
Okay, first of all,
the kiss heard round the world for the ick factor.
I was like, are they getting divorced? That is the worst kiss I've ever seen.
It was a weird. I love them. It was weird. It was weird.
I was like, it's
weird. It was weird. I didn't want to see weird, but it was.
It was so overdone on her part. It was such a reach. It was so desperate.
It was so desperate.
He did not want to have that kiss in that moment in that room. Oof.
It was odd. I know. It was uncomfortable. And I love them.
Really was.
I love it.
And I love them. And I think they're very happy. I think. I don't know. And I love them.
I don't know. I think she's really struggling with this newfound fame of his. And
maybe.
I even saw them on the red carpet, and he was like going to take his pictures, and he went to pull her in. And she was like, no.
Well, you know, it's weird. It's like all of a sudden he was like, nothing was happening in his career. Now he's like huge. You know, that's a real leap for him.
I know, but you know what? I can see it in her. She feels super insecure. And by the way, I know there's a bangs craze right now. It's not for her. She should grow her bangs out. She looks so much prettier without bangs.
Such a rough crowd tonight.
We are. I almost think we need to stop. I think we need to stop this recording right here, right now. None of us are batting 1,000. Every single one of us have offended somebody majorly popular and well known.
We're just going to rename this podcast Canceled.
We're barely getting off to a start here, and wow. You know what? Guess what, Cola? We deserve to be canceled. We do. We deserve it.
Oh my God, I'm flushing. Look, this is menopause flush.
Traitors.
Either that or nerve. Should we move on to Traitors?
Yes, let's move on to Traitors.
Let's get into our hot topics and our shows and Traitors. Let's start with Traitors. Oh God, wow, what a week.
Let's before you say
what's happening.
Let's just announce it. Like we know, it's spoiler. This is if you're for Traitors, spoilers. And if you haven't seen it, you are late.
If you haven't seen it, if you're not streaming it once a week, do not fast forward, go to our next section. There will be spoilers. And the biggest spoiler of them all is...
Wait, and can I quote Juli Cola? We have been robbed for the rest of the season.
Very good pun. Julie, very good pun. Very good pun.
I'm so sad about it, actually. I love Boston Rob.
Me too.
Although
I love Boston Rob.
I never saw him winning. It was impossible for him to win. He was so obviously a traitor.
Yeah.
But it would have been smart. I mean, I know, like, when Sandra was on, she was a faithful, but she knew to keep the traitors close to her. Because in the end, you want one traitor, so you could say you're the traitor, and then you win.
Yeah.
So it would have been smart to, like, keep him in the game just to say, like, we know he's the traitor, but like
That's
we got him.
true.
You
That's
know,
true.
let's find the other traitors.
Yeah.
I don't know. The show, he really drove the show forward, and he was such a like MVP. And I don't want to prejudge it. We'll see what this week brings, but like, I'm gonna really miss him. Like, really miss him. Miss seeing him on my screen.
It reminds me when Phaedra was the whole show last year, and when she got voted off, I was so bummed, because she was so much part of the show to make it so enjoyable.
By the way, I believed him that he was being framed. Like, I was like,
no, that was a good one.
I was like, I don't know who else needs to hear this, but Rob is being framed.
But let's talk about.
I honestly thought he was going to really talk himself out of that one too. Like, I really did. I mean, when they went to vote, I was like, oh my God, he has convinced everybody again. He has convinced them. I was actually surprised.
Yeah, me too.
And I wrote down, like, all of a sudden, like, Tom Sandoval went from like jester clown to like Matlock. Like, he figured it out in that episode. Tom Sandoval.
I mean, he definitely Tom Sandoval was having a like resurgence in that moment, certainly. And like his little speech at the end in the church where he was like, for all the people that doubted me, he's like, he definitely stuck to his guns and he was not persuadable, clearly.
He's so pathetic.
He's still so pathetic. He is the punchline of the season.
He is the punchline.
Okay, yeah. Now, Strauss and I both have two different theories.
We have theories. Well, we don't know if they're different. We haven't shared our theories.
There's no
Do
way.
you want to go first? Mary, you're gone all of a sudden. Oh, no.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Well, we're going to keep rolling. Traitors theories. Jules, do you want to go first?
Okay, so Cole and I both have theories about traitors. We don't know each other's theory. We have managed to keep it under wraps. I think our theory might be the same, but I'll go first. You want me to go first with mine?
Sure.
Okay. Oh. Are you mad I'm going first?
No. Why would I be mad?
Okay. All right. So my theory of the traitors is this, because I was racking my brains. These are the big thoughts I have. Yeah. Racking my brains after the episode last week, like, if they're going to get killed, why are they having them see the traitors?
We have the same theory. I know it.
Like, if they're gonna get killed, why are they having them see the traitors only to be killed? So I think the thought is, let's have the traitors kill them in person. It's not going to be a killing. They are going to want them to become a traitor.
That's instead of killing somebody,
they're going to make them a traitor rather than kill them, or offer them the chance to either we kill you, or you become a traitor.
They're fooling us. But I think when they bring in, this is what I think. Once they bring in the new traitor, then they're going to kill somebody else off. Because you have to kill somebody, else they'll know there's a new traitor. Yeah. So they'll recruit somebody, and then nobody will know there is a new traitor.
But it has to be one of the four that are going to the church. Like, they have to kill one of those four. So one they're going to recruit as a traitor, and the other three they've got to kill one of the three.
Yeah. So you won't know. You won't know there's a traitor. You'll just know that one person was killed.
Right. So somebody will.
That's my theory here.
And I think they're going to end up killing Tom Sandoval.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. I think they're going to kill Tom Sandoval because he's riding high, thinks he's saved the whole show. I think they're going to kill him. Now, who of the remaining three do we think they're going to want to be a traitor?
Maybe Dolores. She'd be a great traitor. No one would know. She would win.
Wait a minute. Who is it again? It's Dolores?
Aaron, Dolores, and Danielle.
Oh, right.
It's all women. That would be the power to keep it all women. They'll keep it all women.
I do too. I think Dolores is great, and she hasn't had her shining moment yet.
No, she really hasn't.
All right. So our theory was the same. I told you I thought it was the same.
And just for kicks and giggles, Chriselle is so off with her traitor. It's like, Charlie and I were laughing so hard when she's just like, I'm voting for you, Tom. I'm like, Tom. Nobody thinks.
I know. Again, week after week, it's like, it's so obvious that she's friends with Ariana and she just has a vendetta against Tom. It is so funny. Every week at the round table, it just comes out of left field. It's like, well, I'm voting for you, Tom. It's like, wait, what? Like, that was horrible.
But and
you
can tell Rob was a dad. You can tell Rob was a dad.
That's what I want to say. Yes, I want to say that too. He was so sweet with her. He talked her through it. He's like, tell me about this, tell me about that. Like, he was so good. It really made you fall in love with him all over again. And my kids are, have done a deep dive. Like, it's so funny that they'll send me pictures of Boston Rob from Survivor. They're like, this is what Boston Rob used to look like. I'm like, I'm aware. I watched the show. I'm that old.
He was a hottie. But, and he's such a good player. First of all, he's a star,
I mean,
he's got his own show. He'll probably replace like Jeff Probst or something when the time comes.
I mean, I love Alan Cummings, but like he is a host. Like Boston Rob deserves his show. He deserves.
Yeah, but not on that show. That's Alan's show.
But he deserves a show, and I don't think it should be Deal or No Deal.
But he is Survivor. You know what I mean? I can see him taking over Deal or No Deal Island. Why not?
All right, moving on, ladies. We got to move on. What are we moving on to? Beverly Hills, or should we do Beverly Hills?
Beverly Hills. Take it away, Strauss.
Okay. Well, my favorite, speaking of court jesters, my favorite court jester has returned, and she is Kathy Hilton. I could not, and here's what I want to say. So I'm like happy that Kathy's back, couldn't love her more. But here's one of the question I want to posit to our large audience out there listening. I would just want to know, like,
to our hotties,
is she just a kook? Like, is she really this kooky, or is this all
performative?
Is this all a put on? Is this all performative? Like, is she just a kook? Because, I mean, this whole thing, like, I go back to 3000 BC in China, and, I've known PJ forever. It's like, if you've known him forever, clearly you know his name is PK. It's like
the funny thing is, I've met him a very long time ago, and I thought he was 56 then.
Well, that's when Boz was like, that is the smoothest shade ever. She's like, that was the smoothest shade ever, Kathy Hilton. I mean, but like, everything is so kooky. It's like really like kookalook. Like, is this for real? I mean,
when she claimed to be part Chinese, and Bo said, did you, no, Erica goes, did you do 23andMe? She's like, no, a woman told me in Rome. Which is, left it there. I'm like,
yeah. What? Part Chinese, and like from I date back to 3000 BC. I'm like, BC as in before Christ? Methinks not, Kathy Hilton. Like, even 23andMe can't get you there. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm like, did you do life regression in Rome? What is happening here? What's going on?
And I have to tell you that her brand manager is getting quite the edit this year. Who even is a brand manager? I mean, Lisa, is the woman's name Lisa? Like, she's now in every episode that Kathy's in, this woman got a production contract. She is getting quite the edit. But anyway, so that was the lighthearted part of the episode. And then we got to swing the pendulum the other way and talk about Reba.
Reba.
I have a note.
What's your note?
I have a note. I was like, the only person scarier than Todd on the Bravo reality TV is Reba.
And I wrote down, Reba makes Todd look cuddly. I'd rather sit down with Todd, watch a TV show, and order in than have a glass of iced tea with Reba or a vodka.
I gotta tell you, I could barely get through the scene with Garcelle giving her that scarf. I mean, that was first of all, that's just that's awful manners. Like, you pride yourself on being Southern and hospitality and raised with manners and cotillion and but you say thank you and you put a smile on your face. I mean, they could have done a cutaway and she could have done a, like a whatever and been like, I hate the scarf and no thanks, Garcelle. But like, that was hard to watch.
Hard to watch. It really was hard to watch.
And then she told Kyle how beautiful she was and said nothing to Garcelle.
And then Garcelle goes, hey, what about me?
But I mean, that was a funny Kyle line. She's like, am I supposed to pick one of mine? That's weird.
How about when Kyle is so overboard when she says to Sutton, oh, your mom's so great. She really is. She's so terrific. She's so warm and friendly. And I'm like, Reba is not warm and friendly, and she's not terrific, Kyle. Can you stop lying through your teeth? Can you have one honest moment on the show? No. Just look at Sutton and go, yikes. I feel for you.
Exactly. And the other thing is, too, I was just like, speaking as moms and menopausal women, it's like, it always comes back to the mother. It's never about the father. It always comes back to the mother. It's like, oh, well, Sutton is the way that she is because her mother is, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, oof. We just can't escape. We're always to blame. Always.
Well, but then I'm always like, why would Sutton put her on camera? That woman is not camera ready, ever. She's never going to be camera ready. Why would you put her on camera? I know, but she's an older woman. She's going to get hate. That's a weird position to put.
Well,
your
not
mom.
only that, Julie, it's not even put her on. Like, she's not like, Reba had to sign contracts to be on camera.
Yeah, I don't know why she would do that.
I'm like, I'm surprised she did it.
Me too.
And the best was the scene with Avi with the ice. Did you guys see that? That was hilarious. She's like, yeah, I don't like that ice. He was like, it's like shoulders. He's like,
She's like, honey, I don't like that.
the ice. Anyway, okay, so wait. And then the last thing I want to say, which is really important about Beverly Hills before we move on, Erica, the truth teller. Thank God for Erica.
I have to say, 1 second before we call Erica the truth teller, it was Sutton who told her first, get yourself in order, take it from me, get yourself a lawyer.
Yes, no, I don't mean that. I don't mean about getting a lawyer. I don't mean about yes, of course, but I mean about, like, she's reading this email out to the table. They're all horrified. I mean, Kathy's horrified. Bose is horrified. And Erica's like, it's over. Like, there's no coming back from this.
Party of Five. Do you remember that line from Party of Five?
Yeah. Baby already said no. He did. We're dating. He did. From Party of Five. Oh, one of our favorite shows back in the day. But seriously, he did already say no. It's almost like as she was reading it out loud, it's like, we're not coming back from this. Like, he is done with you. He is over.
And let me tell you something. This is not going to be a Sutton divorce. She's not getting a baseball team and houses in around the country and around the world.
Julie, he doesn't have money. The word on the street about PK is he has no money. They have no money. This is like fighting over spun sugar. There's no there.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
In that email, he's kind of like, just so you know, you're going to be responsible for the lease.
Of course.
And you're going to be responsible for that. It was scary.
Why do you think he's unloading her before 10 years? He's no dummy. And she needs to be more than a friend of. She needs a full salary.
Well, mission accomplished. She's done it. She is going to, because this is a great season for her.
She is. She did it. She set out to do what she set out to do. Bravo. Bravo.
I don't know. We have a long way to go. We're still, midway, but
and then we had the 10 minutes, the contracted 10 minutes of Mauricio.
With the shooting gallery. That was
talk about baby. He's already said no. I mean, what were those tears about? I literally wrote in my notes. I'm like, I am confused. Didn't she end this? Wasn't she the one that said, I want out? What is she crying about? The reason she ended it had everything to do with the fact that he was out in the streets cheating on her.
What's your storyline? She was, I'm not saying I'm a lesbian, but I'm a lesbian. Wearing the sleeveless tops, bulking up, talking about what's her face, the singer, can't think of her name right now. Wade, what's her name?
Bulking up.
Seriously, bulking up.
Julie, honestly, you are like.
It's true. She was lifting the weights in every scene, getting tattoos, got her name tattooed on her arm. I mean, and basically acting completely not interested in Mauricio. It's killing me. What's her name? Why can't we think of her name?
Oh, who shall not be named. It's
we can say it. We're not her.
No, I know. It's it's not.
It's Morgan.
Morgan Wade. Morgan Wade.
She was featured so heavily last season, and by the way, Kyle was completely not attracted to Mauricio last year. I remember he went to kiss her and she went like this. I mean, it was repulsed by him. And this year it's like baby voice while she's shooting a gun. What am I gonna do without you? I can't open the blinds. I'm like, what is this from? You're like completely not interested in him. Like, what is going on here? Like,
and also, like, why do we have to have a gun shooting scene? Is that literally, like, when the producers of the show were like, okay, we need to get Mauricio and Kyle together for about 8 minutes of filming. Where should we go? It can't be like, let's get a chai latte. Like, we have to be in a fucking gun range? Like,
I know why. Because Teddy Mellencamp's soon-to-be ex-husband probably set up the alarm in their house, and everyone gets robbed when he does that. It's like the worst.
I don't buy it. I don't buy that. I thought that was in such poor taste. I thought that was terrible. They could meet anywhere. Go for a fucking hike. Go for a hike in Runyon Canyon. Like, seriously, we have to be at a gun range? Terrible.
It was bizarre.
SLC.
Let's breeze through it because we already talked about this a lot.
Well, there's only one thing to talk about because let's face it, guys, this reunion did not have to be part 3.
It didn't. It was a great season. This was a fabulous season. This is an all-star cast.
season. Great
No one
season.
can touch Salt Lake City right now. They are like all stars.
All-star.
Everybody.
All-star.
Fabulous.
Yeah, totally agree.
What's your must thing to talk about?
Brittany, horrible. Brittany.
She's coming back. She's coming back.
There's something wrong with her, right? There's also something wrong with her.
Well, first of all, she's obviously a terrible mother.
I mean,
and by the way, I hate to say it, but we'll never know why, because that was. She is. None of her kids talk to her because she picks her boyfriends over her kid. I mean, sorry, but that's an awful look.
And also, like, there are so many things. Okay, for such a fantastic season that had such great storylines and so many great scenes, I found the reunion confounding. Like, I actually found it difficult to follow. It was like, I said it last week, like it was like a math problem for me, an SAT question. What were they talking about with Brittany and Bronwyn? What are we talking about?
That was the only confusing part. When they brought in Brittany, we started talking about, I hate when Bravo does this. They started talking about something that happened off camera. So none of us know what they're talking about. So they're talking kind of in code. Like, you know what I mean? Nothing was
so she's accusing Bronwyn of talking about her kids?
They must have mutual friends, and I think Bronwyn trashed Brittany as a mother to these women, and then those women, I don't know if it was, I don't know actually.
See, you lost me. You lost me. And for a side character to have such a confusing moment in the reunion, I was like, what are we talking about? And the fact that she thinks like she deserves to be sitting there and she's so great, and like her singing videos on TikTok, it's like, this woman is, I don't know. I mean, she's like bizarre.
When she said to Andy, wait a second, I'm not going to get to walk on. I'm just going to be sitting there. He's like, yeah, you're just going to be sitting there. She's like, and then at the end, they're all giving each other compliments. She's like, I should be in that room. I mean, I deserve a compliment.
I know.
Why would I give my compliment?
She did not go back to the dressing room and get changed. She was standing on the fringe of the stage, like in front of the camera.
Her producer would be like, go in, go back in. And we're live with Brittany. She's coming back.
And also, I mean, as in an absolutely hysterical production moment, it's like this cast gets a giant stein of beer to toast with. I'm like, that is more carbs than any of these women have had in the last year. I'm like, they all, like, did you see their eyes when the beers came out? They were all like, beer? They were like horrified. I was like, this is ridiculous.
When Brittany didn't want Bronwyn to read like the gross text from Jared that he did to Bronwyn or DM, and then Andy's like, no, we want to hear it, and then Mary's like, we want to hear the whole thing. He's like egging her on.
Well, honestly, the Mary and Andy love fest. I mean, that was seriously.
It was cute.
And I mean, and also I have to say to Mary one more thing about Mary. Good for her. She fucking called out. I love it. She called out Meredith Marks on taking that phone call from Jen Shah, and with real facts. She was like, "What are you doing?" Like, and Meredith's like, "Well, if you, God forbid, were in jail and you called me, I would take your call." She's like, "Not if I tried to blame you for why I'm in jail." Like, it's...
Listen, I think Whitney's the most annoying person in the world, but she was right. Her reaching out to Monica is. What did Monica do? Big deal. She had that stupid blog.
So right. That's what kills me about Whitney.
She took away people's like life savings. That's a much bigger deal. And Meredith was like,
disgusting.
Yeah, it
and
was.
Meredith's like, well, she's doing her time. It's like, you're a lawyer. You're the only one on this cast that is a lawyer. Like, shut your mouth. What are you doing? She's doing her time. Like, Mary was so clear and clear-headed and articulated. I was like, Mary, you are, wow, MVP. Hot takes.
I have a little bit of a hot take, a little humbling hot take for you. I was coming back. I was going actually to my mammogram. I had my mammogram. Everything's good. I did my annual mammogram sonogram. And I wanted to get there a little bit early, but I was a little too early. And I thought to myself, you know what? I was on the Upper East Side. I thought I'm going to grab myself a little Starbucks before I go in. And it's a beautiful Starbucks, one of those nice big ones, you know? And I go up to the door and I was like, locked. I'm like, that's so weird. So I start like pushing on it. I'm like, so bizarre. And I'm thinking, are they having like a store meeting, you know? And there's like a lot of people sort of like lined up. I'm like, it must be like a store meeting or something. So I'm like trying to push. I'm like, can I not push anymore because of the store meeting? This guy comes behind me and I'm like, it's ridiculous. I go, I think they're having a store meeting. And he just looks at me, he just pushes the door open and walks in. I'm like, we really need to increase those weights. Like, it's really... those 10-pound weights really aren't doing the trick. Couldn't get the door open at Starbucks. Couldn't get it open. Thought they were closed. Thought they were having a
Julie, you were Mary Cosby trying to get into Starbucks. You were Mary Cosby trying to get into the bat mitzvah. Mine.
This guy looked at me like, you're an idiot. Like he just like looked at me with like blank eyes and pushed the door right open. I'm like,
And also, like, the baristas inside must have been looking at you like, look at this crazy lady can't get into the store.
ladies first. Ladies first. I've been here for a good 25 minutes banging on the door. I have a mammogram.
That's hilarious.
I have a mammogram I need to get to.
Hilarious. Well, senior moment. All right, guys. Well, such a good episode. Yeah, let's hope it recorded. I mean,
we're still recording.
Hopefully we're still recording, or we'll see you next week for episode 13.2.
Stay cool, Hotties.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, everyone. See you next week with our guest.
Yeah.
We're going to bring a guest next week.
Oh, yeah. We have a guest next week. Hopefully.
Little Gen Zetas. Bring a little new temperature to the pod. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Love you.